Oliver Ellsworth was born on April 29, 1745, in Windsor, Connecticut, to Captain David and Jemima Ellsworth. He entered Yale in 1762, but transferred to the College of New Jersey, later known as Princeton, at the end of his second year. He continued to study theology and received his A.B. degree after 2 years. Soon afterward, however, Ellsworth turned to law. After 4 years of study, he was admitted to the bar. In 1771, the next year, Ellsworth married Abigail Wolcott. From a slow start, Ellsworth built up a prosperous law practice. His reputation was an able and industrious jurist grew, and in 1777, Ellsworth became Connecticut's state attorney for Hartford, Connecticut. The same year, he was chosen as one of Connecticut's representatives in the Continental Congress. He served on various committees during 6 annual terms until 1783. Ellsworth was also active in his state's efforts during the Revolution. As a member of the Committee of the Pay Table, Oliver Ellsworth was one of the 5 men who supervised Connecticut's war expenditures. In 1779, he assumed greater duties as a member of the Council of Safety, which, with the governor, controlled all military measures for the state. When the Constitutional Convention met in Philadelphia in 1787, Ellsworth once again represented Connecticut and took an active part in the proceedings. During debate on the Great Compromise, Ellsworth proposed that the basis of representation in the legislative branch remain by state, as under the Articles of Confederation. He also left his mark through an amendment to change the word national to United States in a resolution. Thereafter, United States was the title used in the convention to designate the government. Ellsworth also served on the committee of 5 that prepared the first draft of the Constitution. Ellsworth favored the 3/5 compromise on the enumeration of slaves, but opposed the abolition of the foreign slave trade. Though he left the convention near the end of August and did not sign the final document, he urged its adoption upon his return to Connecticut and wrote the letters of landholder to promote its ratification. Ellsworth served as one of Connecticut's first 2 senators in a new federal government between 1789 and 1796. In the Senate, he chaired the committee that framed the bill organizing the federal judiciary and helped to work out the practical details necessary to run a government. Ellsworth's other achievements in Congress included framing the measures that admitted North Carolina to the Union, devising the Non-Intercourse Act that forced Rhode Island to join, drawing up the bill to regulate the consular service, and serving on the committee that considered Alexander Hamilton's plan for funding the national debt and for incorporating the Bank of the United States. In spring of 1796, he was appointed Chief Justice of the Supreme Court and also served as Commissioner to France in 1799 and 1800. Upon his return to the United States in early 1801, Ellsworth retired from public life and lived in Windsor, Connecticut. He died there on November 26, 1806, and was buried in the cemetery of the First Church of Windsor.
The trial of Korematsu versus the United States started during World War II when President Roosevelt passed Executive Order 9066 to command the placement of Japanese residents and Japanese citizens who were staying or located in the United States into special facilities where they were excluded from general population. Isolating people from the general population for no good reason is a direct violation of the 14th Amendment to the United States Constitution. To defend this aggressive action, President Roosevelt explained that the order was passed to prevent internal damages or sabotage that may have been caused by individuals who supported Japan. The case of Korematsu versus the United States took place on December 18th of 1944. The trial was indicated by Korematsu in response to Roosevelt's executive order. Korematsu believed that forced residencies was illegal. Korematsu brought his case to the Supreme Court by stating that imprisonment of the people was a direct violation of civil liberties and the human rights afforded to American citizens in the United States Constitution. The case of Korematsu versus the United States was decided on December 18th of 1944. The case was heard by the Supreme Court of the United States. In the case of Korematsu versus the United States, the Supreme Court ruled in the favor of the United States, claiming that based on military law, the preservation and protection of general population of the United States outweighed the individual who was detained in the prison camp. The ruling in Korematsu versus the United States also explained that during wartime, the government was allowed to pass certain laws that may not be legal in times of peace.